I've got over 150 platinum trophies. And in that time, I've played some good games, some great games, and well, some not so great games. And while I enjoyed nearly all of them, a lot of platinums have you grinding for hours for collectibles, multiplayer challenges, RNG trophies, or just your good old skill issue taking you hours to get a single bronze trophy. So I've picked out 10 games that just respect your time. Games you're going to finish immediately and wish you could just start all over again. And I can guarantee if you start these trophies, you won't be disappointed. There are short games, long games, games for any sort of situation, and the last one is a brand new release from this month that is going to hit you right in the nostalgic feels, thanks to a game that gives you that old school platformer feel. So come with me while I show you 10 platinum trophies that actually respect your time. Now, when this game was announced, I knew it was going to be my personal game of the year, and I didn't care how hard the trophies were going to be, I was getting that platinum. This is the newest entry in the LEGO Batman series, made by the same studio behind the LEGO Star Wars Skywalker saga. It reimagines Batman's entire history, mashing together the movies, the animated series, the comics, and the older LEGO games into one story. It opens up with the death of the Waynes, follows a young Bruce in training under Ra's al Ghul, and then takes you through 5 different chapters recruiting the Bat family. We've got Gordon, Catwoman, Robin, Batgirl, Nightwing, all while working through Gotham's rogue gallery of enemies. Now, this has 52 trophies in total, and the platinum is a 3 out of 10 with about a 20-hour gameplay. And it's a genuinely chill grind, if you could call it that. And here's why. You can play the entire story on the easiest difficulty, and there's also like accessibility settings so that you can skip the puzzles entirely and still counts towards the trophy. The collectible hunt basically does itself. There are 674 collectibles, but activating the tower in each of those 9 districts auto-marked every single one of them on the map. Even the scariest looking collectible has a shortcut. There are 50 bat symbols hidden around Gotham, but you actually only need 25 of them. And then you've got trophies that just pop for completing the story. And with this game taking inspiration from the Arkham series, as you all know from my personal previous experience, I have a lot of trouble with the combat section, but even that one, you need to get 100 counters or 100 stealth takedowns. They come naturally just as you're playing. The only genuinely time-consuming trophy is the trophy called a Watchful Collector, for grabbing every suit, every vehicle, every Wayne tech, red brick, pretty much everything. It's a checklist, not a skill check. It's a great pick to start this list. Now, one of the biggest exclusives on PlayStation, and honestly, one of the most surprising entries on this platinum list, God of War Ragnarok picks up after 2018's God of War, following Kratos and his son Atreus as they try to stop Ragnarok while navigating prophecy, grief, and Atreus' growing identity turning himself into Loki. Now, the trophy difficulty is pretty low, and expect to spend about 35 to 40 hours to get the platinum. Now, the reason this is on the list is that the trophies are obtainable in the easiest setting. There's nothing that's missable, and you'll sweep almost everything up just by playing through the story and doing a few favors along the way. For example, we've got how it started with equipping an enchantment. Spartan Ways is a straight story trophy that pops automatically at the start of a chapter. The only real time sink is Collector, all the relics and sword hilts, since some are tied to big optional quests, but that's extra playtime, not skill, and honestly, the lore and the story in this game has you wanting to play every single thing anyway. Bethesda's Fallout 3 is an easy plat favorite since trophies were added way back in 2008. You play the Lone Wanderer, escaping Vault 101 after your father just mysteriously ups and leaves, and heading into the nuclear capital wasteland to track him down, eventually getting tangled up with Project Purity, the Brotherhood of Steel, the Enclave. This one made me miss the PS3 days. There are 51 trophies in this, and most are tied directly to the main story. You've got growing up fast just for reaching your 10th birthday. You then get one for simply taking the GOAT test, which you have to do to progress the story. The only ones that need a little bit of planning are the Karma and Level trophies. The trick, save right before hitting certain levels, and then swing your karma in each direction, reload, do it the other way, and then that's pretty much it. And then you've got things like Silver Tongue Devil, which can also be farmed in a couple of minutes on a kid called Not Not. And then Data Miner for hacking 50 terminals, which happen on its own through exploration. Now, the story for this is one of my favorite stories of the PS3 era, and honestly, they need to hurry up with this so-called shadow drop like they did with Oblivion, because I am itching for another Fallout story. Switching gears to an indie gem that you can get in an afternoon. Donut County has you playing as a hole in the ground that raccoons have been using to prank and rob the entire town, swallowing objects, animals, and eventually people as the hole grows. It's a funny physics puzzler where you need to get the right order to swallow things as the hole gets bigger. It makes it a little bit easier, but you need to find the right things to get it started. This has got 21 trophies, it's got a 2 out of 10 difficulty, and is about 2 to 3 hours. With a level select, it means that if you do miss anything, you can mop them up very easily, and there's no real way to lock yourself out of this platinum. For example, you've got Pup's Odyssey for releasing a hot air balloon early on, and most level completion trophies happen automatically just by finishing each stage. Now, for anyone who wants a emotional, short, gorgeous platinum, I did not expect to enjoy this as much as I did. I thought I was just going to play it for the sake of the platinum, but ended up absolutely loving it. The Gardens Between is a wordless puzzle game about two childhood best friends who sneak out on a rainy night and drift through a dream ocean of small islands. Each island is a memory from their friendship as they slowly grow up and grow apart. The puzzles revolve around rewinding and fast-forwarding time rather than reflexes and doing things quickly. For example, Reset Dominoes just wants you to knock down a bunch of dominoes and then rewind time to set them back up. Full chapter select means that you're never gonna get stuck. Next up, Insomniac's Marvel Spider-Man on the PS4. This platinum, personally, I managed to achieve without even realizing I was going for it. It just popped randomly while I was playing. This is such a chill game. I would not associate this game with a grind in the slightest. It's fun from minute 1 to the platinum. Now, you play as an experienced Peter Parker about 8 years into being Spider-Man. He takes down Mr. Negative's criminal empire while juggling Aunt May, MJ, and the return of Wilson Fisk. With 51 trophies and no difficulty requirement, play on easy the whole way through, and the platinum is essentially just to get 100% on the game. Maxing out side activities across Manhattan, doing combat challenges, finding collectibles, which can take time but never demands any skill. This game is one of my personal favorites from the PS3 era for the unique way in which they tackle the freeing or the liberating of areas. The Saboteur has you playing as Sean Devlin, an Irish street racer and mechanic who joins the French resistance after the Third Reich kill his best friend. This type of game obviously has occupied areas that you need to free, but like I said, the unique way they tackle this is they are black and white when they are occupied, and as soon as you liberate them, it restores the city back to color, which I thought was an amazing twist on how to show the player how far they were in the game and where was safe and where wasn't. There's 46 trophies, there's no multiplayer trophies, there's nothing locked behind difficulty, there's a small handful that require care, mainly disguising and stealth kills, but most come through playing the game naturally. Demolition Derby, which is destroying 50 vehicles, will almost certainly unlock on its own through story missions and general chaos before you even notice that you're going for it. One of the shorter, more stylish entries on the list, The Artful Escape, has you playing as Francis Vendetti, a teenage guitarist living in the shadow of his late uncle, a legendary folk musician. He gets whisked away on a psychedelic cosmic journey with an alien mentor named Lightman to discover his musical identity. Now, there's 13 trophies, and it takes about 3 or 4 hours to complete with a rough 2 out of 10 difficulty. Almost every trophy is story-related and unmissable. Made It Home just requires you for reaching Francis' house near the start. The only ones that need attention are optional exploration moments like lighting up the whole town of Calypso, and even with those that we have chapter selection, you're never going to miss them. Now this one's a bit of a change of pace. It's a comedic slapformer set in the fictional northern English town of Barnsworth. Think Monty Python meets Rick and Morty. Yes, I'm sticking with my stance that if I put this game into every list that it's suitable for, I will. My aim is to get at least one person to play this game per video, and for me, I think it's a win. This is one of my all-time favorite games. You play as a traveling salesman's apprentice who gets swept into the absurd lives of the town's residents through bizarre errands and a lot of comedic slapping. Now, there's a little caveat to this one. Now, around 22 of the 33 trophies can technically be missed if you rush dialogue or skip interactions, but the game is so short that a clean second playthrough barely adds any real time, maxing out at about 4 hours with 2 playthroughs. And then you've got trophies like Patience is a Virtue, which has you just sitting and waiting in the waiting room for 15 real-world minutes, so you might as well go make yourself a cup of tea while you're waiting. Closing out this list with the newest game here by a mile, Dusk Fade, which only released on August 13th this year from developer Weird Beluga. You play as Zirian, a workshop apprentice who wields the Minotero, a blade forged from a clock hand, journeying across 4 time-bent worlds shaped by the mysterious clockmakers, trying to save his sister from a being called Despair, with a companion named Cuckoo to come along with the ride. Now, this one is a callback to platformers of old. Think Jak and Daxter, Spyro, Sly Rocket, like, it has that mascot platformer feel. The movement is smooth, the moves are great, the pacing is really good, the collectibles not too rough. There are 25 trophies total. And while it has only been out a couple of weeks, so the time frame for the platinum varies. Some are saying 9 to 12 hours. Some are saying more 8. More are saying more 18 to 20. It does perfectly sit in that 3 out of 10 difficulty, though. And I personally got it done in around 17 hours. Everything is achievable in a single playthrough with no missable trophies. Most of the list is story achievements and collectibles. And with it sitting already at an 88% unlock rate, meaning almost everyone that's playing this is getting that platinum, shows you how much fun the game really is. The grind for the collectibles is not really a grind, mainly because of the gameplay. It gives you that nostalgic feel, and you just want to keep playing and doing different things. While I would say the only negative I have is I wish you could unlock some of the moves earlier in the game. That's about the only thing I could really say needed to change about this. And that wraps up all 10. From Lego Batman's forgiving free roam completion all the way to Dusk Fade, a game that's barely been out for 2 weeks. What ties every one of these together isn't luck, it's smart trophy design. No brutal difficulty spikes, no missable trophies buried in a single playthrough, and completion percentage that actually match how good the games are. If you've platinumed any of these, let me know in the comments which one took you the least amount of time, and drop suggestions for games that I could put into a part 2. If you enjoyed this video, a like genuinely helps the channel. Hit subscribe for more breakdowns, platinum run-throughs, trophy lists, trophy reviews. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys at the next ping.